Hi, my name's Chris Drake. I'm the General Manager of Academics for Wynn College. This is part of a remedial lecture for the fabulous subject all about emotional intelligence, or EI. The most important thing to understand about EI is, I guess, what is it? Very simply, it's about thinking about what you're going to say and what you're going to do before you do it. Thinking about the impact it's going to have on the people around you, particularly at work. So emotional intelligence is all about teamwork, being careful about what you say. In this particular chapter we've broken it down into four chapters, and that first chapter is to identify the impact of your emotions, how you act in the workplace on others around you. The second one is how to recognize and address the emotional strengths and weaknesses in the other people around you. So in other words, to read the room, as we say, to actually understand how the other people are being affected by the things that you're doing and about the things that other people are doing. The third one is, of course, is to promote the idea of emotional intelligence. What does that mean? Promoting the idea in your staff about saying to people, think before you do things. The final one, of course, is to utilise, once you've got the idea of emotional intelligence, is to actually utilise it within the team. You can become a little bit more clever. Now, you may think that you don't do this, but most people do it all the time. Like a lot of things, I'm going to make this a little bit personal. What do you do and say on a first date? Okay, you're very, very careful about what you do and say on a first date. You don't come and say, oh my God, what the hell have you done to your hair? Or what, you're wearing that? That usually comes much, much later. But, and the other place that we do it is quite often with children. Think about what you say to a child that's learning to walk. You're aware of what your impact is. I'll give an example. Okay, child learning to walk. I'm an old man, so I've got children. And this is how it works. Child learning to walk. Okay, it's usually along the lines of, come on, that's great. Oh, fabulous. Oh, you fell down. Don't worry, hop back up again. That's all right, no problem. Come on, come on. Come on, one more step, one more. Wow, a whole step. That was fantastic. You fell down, don't worry about it. You got back up again, that's the important thing. Come on. I say to most people, how many times is a child allowed to fall over before they learn to walk? The answer is as many times as it takes. There is no way while you're encouraging a child to walk you would treat them as you sometimes do the people in your workplace. Imagine if you took a child learning to walk and you went, what, that's the best you can do? Oh, and you fell over. Oh, you'll probably continue falling over. In fact, I think I should sack you because you can't even walk 2 steps. Okay? Oh, well, we know this is hopeless. Okay? You're not walking, you're not going anywhere. I'm done. Okay? I gave you one chance to just walk across the room and you couldn't even do that. You could imagine what effect that would have on a child learning to walk. So that's emotional intelligence really, really simply. So therefore, think about it in others. So imagine the way you use your voice, your tone, how you address people. The importance of saying good morning to people when you come into the office. Or how you feel when the big boss walks past and doesn't say a word. Doesn't say hello, doesn't ask you how you were, how was the weekend. just expects you to be working like a slave? How do you feel when the top salesman comes in and says, "Hey, how's it going?" Asks you about your day? How does the rest of your team feel about that? Do they want to see gloomy Gus? "Oh my God, I don't know how long we're going to be here. Sales are down. Everybody's job's on the line. Oh dear. Oh me, oh my." Next thing you know, half your sales force will be out looking for another job. It's all about the power of positive thinking. There are a lot of self-help books that talk about emotional intelligence. So the things that you're going to learn in this chapter are all about that idea. So the first chapter, identify the impact of your own emotions on others. Okay, so yeah, do an experiment. Have a look at it a bit. What are people like around you? It's not that hard to guess that if you're positive, if you've always got a smile on your face, if you're encouraging, people will want to work hard for you and with you. Now, my father is in his 80s now. He's been in business all his life, and he said to me one day when I was very young, he said, "You know what? The secret to business, people do business with people they like." Whether you call that a who you know world, it doesn't matter. People do business with people they like. People are friends with people they like. You spend time with people you like. Why do you like them? I'll bet it's not because they're gloomy. I'll bet it's not because when you ask them how they feel, they actually tell you for the next half an hour. You do business with people you like. So, what is the impact on your workforce? They also call this sometimes, if you want to address it, they call it a 360. If you're a leader of a team, this involves you sending out a questionnaire to your staff. It's completely anonymous. And you ask them, what do they think of you as a leader? Scary stuff for some of the leaders of the world. Have a look at some of the people that you admire in business. One of my personal heroes is Richard Branson, the owner of Virgin Airlines. There's a story about Richard Branson. One day planes were all late and delayed. And this lady was saying that the Virgin staff came out and were handing out sandwiches. She got the shock of her life when Richard Branson handed out her a sandwich. This is the grand high head poobah of a huge multinational airline, giving her a sandwich. What happened was that he happened to be in the airport at the time that this crisis developed, and he decided to go down and just help out. Can you imagine how the staff of Virgin felt about having the grand high poobah, head of the company, the big cheese, there handing out sandwiches just for them, taking the abuse of the customers that were angry because their flight was delayed, with a beaming smile on their face? And "I'm terribly sorry about the delay, madam. Please have a ham sandwich on Virgin. We'll get you flying as soon as possible." Fantastic leadership qualities. A fantastic use of emotional intelligence. Understanding the impact that his emotions and his feelings and his drive has on others. In the various areas of that chapter, that's what you're going to have a look at. When you get to the second chapter, it's to recognize and address the emotional strengths and weaknesses of others. And once again, I would turn this back to a personal level. If you're in a relationship with your significant other, whether that be your mother, your brother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mother, your wife, your husband, etc., you will act on them and you will start to see things that they do. The easiest thing is, I would say to you, what do they do that you don't like? What gets you going? Is it the gloomy Gus? Is it the "oh, woe is me"? I'm always tired? Is it the constantly whinging and bickering? Whatever you do, it's not right. I hear that a lot. Hopefully not from too many ex-girlfriends, but usually along the lines of, I'm always criticised. Nothing's ever said nice. It's always a criticism, what I'm doing wrong. Nobody ever notices the good things. So what the second part of this chapter is noticing how other people address EI. Now this is where it really becomes gold, as we call it. Because you can start to influence other people. And if you do the matrix, you go out somewhere. Let's say, for example, you're going on a date. If you do the matrix, you work out, what do I want from the date? If your ultimate objective is to have a good time, keep that in your head. Because you know what happens? Some people forget. They complain about the queue at the restaurant. The food wasn't quite as good. Maybe the water was a bit warm. The table's rickety. And they complain so much on this date about all the things that went wrong that they end up not having a good time. Their date doesn't have a good time. And sometimes it's just a matter of perspective. Recognizing the emotional impact of others have on you. In chapter 3 we get to the idea, because you're doing Diploma of Leadership and Management. You're supposed to be a leader while you're learning to be one. Part of that idea is now you've got the secrets to the universe and emotional intelligence, it's time to start using them in your company. So you can start promoting that idea. That means on a Monday morning, no matter how lousy you feel, no matter how miserable you feel, no matter how worried you are about the amount of work you've got to do, you've got a choice. You can walk into that office and say, "Good morning, team, and what a fabulous day we've got coming our way. Ah, terrific. Let's go, go, go. I'm really excited about this. You're all doing such a fabulous job. I know that this week is going to be a killer week. We're going to break all the records." Yes, you'll get moans and groans around the office about, "Oh my God, who the hell let that guy in?" But productivity will increase. As opposed to you come into the office and you do what you feel like doing, which is, "Oh, I've had a hell of a weekend. Oh my God, I've got a headache to here. I'll never get through the work. And God, I mean, it's hard to soar like an eagle when I'm surrounded by you turkeys. But try to do a good job for me anyway, even though you're probably being underpaid and overworked." How do you think that'll work out for the bottom line? Emotional intelligence is all about recognizing the emotional attributes in others and yourself. But there's a really fabulous side product. That side product or side benefit is, after you've finished all morning getting really, really excited about work and people, you know what ends up happening? Unfortunately, what do you know? You end up being happy and enjoying your workplace. The other people around you end up being happy. Figures go up. Profits go up. But you don't even care because you're starting to enjoy what you do. Emotional intelligence and unlocking the secrets of emotional intelligence is gold. Chapter 3 is about how to share that gold with others. Because if they're doing well, you're doing well. Soon enough, you've got a fabulous team around you who are positive, emotionally charged, emotionally intelligent. Okay, so have you ever noticed, for example, that the words "no offence" always follow an insult? Or how about the words "I'm just being honest"? Okay, always follow an insult. This room looks horrific. Your typing is lousy. Your computers look... What the hell are you wearing? That's a ghastly outfit on you. Never wear it again. Oh, I'm just being honest. If you did the matrix, you've got to ask yourself, is that going to help the person? Is the person going to feel good after that kind of comment? Is the person going to work hard after that kind of comment? Or are they going to be ready to slit their wrists and forget the whole thing? So you've got a team of people, hopefully by now, that are all emotionally intelligent, maybe even, a little bit more emotionally intelligent than they were 2.5 weeks ago before you did this. Emotional intelligence doesn't just happen. It needs to be learned, which is what you're doing today. It needs to be learned, and of course, as the leader and team leader, you need to teach it in others. In the final chapter that you're going to be working through today, it is to utilize intelligence to maximize team outcomes, to get the whole team together and to really push it through. There are 5 assessments that you will need to do for this emotional intelligence unit. The 5 assessments, and the first assessment is a quiz. That quiz is a short answer questions, true-false quiz. The second emotional intelligence exercise is assessment is a practical exercise where you get to do a little bit of coaching and you have a look at your emotional impact on others. Very, very, well, interesting because it's practical. The third assessment is, of course, some case studies. The usual case studies we use in this case, usually complaining clients and also some complaining staff. How do you handle it? Okay? How do you handle those, whingy moments? Don't forget, the word manage doesn't mean easy. Okay? The definition of manage doesn't mean easy. I think I might manage to do that. Doesn't mean that'll be dead easy. Management's hard. And thank goodness it is, because if management wasn't hard and everybody could do it, nobody would employ us managers. Managing is very hard. And not everybody can do it. This course is designed to do that. So, work through those assessment 3. The final assessment is an activity where you do all those things put together. Don't forget, you can always contact Serena or give the college a call. If you're in the country, you can come and see us. The idea of this lecture series is to give you a little bit of an insight. This is exactly what we'd be saying to the students. Now, the diploma, this recent unit, has changed slightly. They updated it a little bit while ago. I will tell you the difference between the old version, which they were both called exactly the same thing, Develop and Use Emotional Intelligence. The difference between the new version is because the industry has discovered that there was a piece missing. That piece missing is that not only do you need to utilize emotional intelligence and understand it, the piece that's missing is that you start to need to have a plan. Put it down on paper. Exactly how you're going to improve situations at work. And guess what? That's what our final assessment's about. We're going to get you to do a plan. And it's like a professional development plan, but I guess it's more like an emotional intelligence plan. Some people actually, those negative ones, will call emotional intelligence manipulating. We're in business. We call them influencing skills. If you choose to use your influencing skills and emotional intelligence to find love, success and happiness in your relationship, or whatever it is that you want in your relationship, good for you. if you use your emotional intelligence and influencing skills to improve your situation in the workforce, in the workplace, and you get pay rises out of it, accolades, recognition, or whatever it is that you want, that special title or the corner office, good for you. That's what it's all about. It's not a mistake that most people that are good managers also end up being very happy in their lives, quite prosperous in all areas. It's not a mistake. They learned how to do it and they applied it in all their areas of their life. That is emotional intelligence. Develop and use it. Good luck with your assessments. Good luck with your exercises. I'll catch you later in the next series. Thank you.